So Pranav, you and your team have won some quite prestigious awards for a really impressive blockchain solution, which I personally think has a lot of extensibility to many things in Thailand.
Right.
Can you tell us about it?
Sure, Andrew. So this is something that we've done. So sort of a solution, what we call as forest to fashion.
Yep.
It's more meant for the textile industry as such, where we have connected large global brands on one side, and it sort of connects the entire sort of value chain, right from brands to different sort of players like garmenters, finished fabric manufacturers, spinners, pulp entities, forest entities. So it's like a sort of complete value chain on textile industry, which has been sort of mapped onto a sort of a blockchain based network. And what we give to these brands and their eventual sort of customers is a complete visibility of raw material that has gone into the garment.
Right.
So they can trace it back to the forest where the wood came from. And what it also helps to establish is the fact that these end-to-end sort of chain has so many sort of suppliers, which first of all the brands were never sort of had the visibility of.
Sure.
That they may never know that there is a sort of a pulp entity sitting somewhere in China, or a sort of a fiber sort of an entity sitting somewhere in Bangladesh. In fact, just to let you know, this platform is sort of available in 5 different languages, because we have about 1,500 plus value chain partners that transact on it, and they're all based in different regions across the globe.
And about 70 brands are also
there are
part
70
of this,
plus very large global brands that use this sort of a platform to give the required sort of, or rather get required sort of a traceability and transparency across the chain. We've integrated certain labs onto this platform as well, which give sort of a trust certificate or a quality certification at different stages in the supply chain. That sort of also gets embedded onto this blockchain, and people can actually see the quality of stuff at every stage that is being sort of coming to them in the final product. Apart from this, we also use certain concepts like mass balancing, where we sort of see the efficiency and conversion factors, because at every stage in the chain, the raw material that you typically sort of use changes shape and form. So say for example, I'm using 100 air-dried metric ton of wood, and that gets converted into say 100 kgs of pulp. Is it the right conversion? Should it be 120 kgs of pulp, or should it be 75 kgs of pulp? So we monitor those sort of things and sort of give a sort of a view that whether it could have an impact on quality, or it could be certain sort of deficiencies in the process, or there could be a lot of wastage that is happening in the process. And that's what has actually sort of led us to sort of get these sort of global awards, because gives a sort of a very clear view on sustainability across the chain. So that's what has been the case. And of course there are huge sort of financial benefits to everyone who transacts, because it helps you sort of do your production planning, procurement planning, inventory management, and eventually working capital management much better.
Absolutely. So if you've got a big order coming in with one of those brands, the person down at the wood knows about it. If you've got some problem with the wood, the people up in the brands know about it, and you can monitor that almost in a real time. It's really fantastic, and it has a lot of parallels, I feel, with just anything sort of beginning to end, really. Where there's an ecosystem, particularly where there's an ecosystem.
I think you touched the right term. It's about ecosystem, because these sort of solutions cannot be sort of hosted by one organization. You need technologies like blockchain to be leveraged here, wherein everybody has a vote in the way data is sort of recorded and data is sort of consumed by these players. So that's where, so I also sort of use the same term when I talk about blockchain based solution. These are more ecosystem solutions that you can sort of create, which certainly sort of are ways of doing business in a very transformed way. say, I cannot imagine a system like this without having a blockchain as a technology at the backdrop of it. So it's completely transformational. But yes, that's what is sort of happening, and that's what is sort of getting disrupted in some ways by these new technologies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations again to you. And again, as I said, just knowing Thailand as I do, with really considering all of the amount of produce we have, the manufacturing ecosystems we have, just this connected supply chains and everything, I just see massive parallels of how it could be used, and everybody benefits from that kind of connectivity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you for telling us about it.
Thank you, Andrew.